Welcome, welcome, welcome. If Vincent, if you could check if the sound is right on stream,
Oh yeah.
while,
I
while,
will
while
do
we're
that.
while we're starting. Well, my name is oomzer and next to me we have.
Vincent Jaromir van der Meulenbroeker.
I hope I spelled his name right.
You actually did. You did.
Yes. Yeah, it's just us today. So no Angus, no Aris, no Corina, just Omar and Vincent,
Nope.
and we're not playing some more stupid Call of Duty. Yeah, I said it. I said it. What are we playing today, Vincent?
That is we are playing U-boat.
Which is
I boat.
this
We
game.
boat.
Hold up.
Yes.
Yeah, hold up. Let me just. Yeah.
There we go.
Every time I click out of the game,
Uh
it like clicks out. Oh, also need to put on sound. Ah, it's one of those games where like if you alt tab out of it, it disappears from your what you say, from your screen. It's really annoying.
yeah.
I hate it.
Um
But
Depends on if you have windowed or full screen, I guess.
yeah. But yeah,
Yes.
this is U-boat. It's yeah, what you call it? Sub sim strategy, real time strategy game ish. It's in early access, of course, because here on Value we only play early access games. No, but I mean,
That, is that
it's
so?
it's kind of a thing that most of the games we do play are either AAA games or like really big games, or they're early access. It's either one of those.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at it,
I mean, isn't that what most people play, I guess. I mean, either it's yeah, okay, we've got some gems that are only 10 or $20 from the Steam library that we've played in the past. Um for example, Hades is not that expensive.
no, it
Um
isn't. No, no.
but it's not AAA either. Yeah. So it fits the bill.
That's true. That's
But
true.
yeah,
That's true.
it is either early access, I guess, or yeah.
Hold on, let me just. I need to check something in OBS.
That's how that goes.
That's how that stuff goes. I can't find it.
Yes.
It should be fine. Should be fine. So let's just. I've been playing this game for quite some, like 15 hours. So I know a little bit about it. So let's just
Oh,
start a new campaign. So the whole
that's no
thing
problem.
about this game, it's still in early access. So it's kind of there should be more content.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is you pick a U-boat. So one of these U blah 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 blahs, and you sail out somewhere in the first World War, Second World War.
Okay.
That's kind of the thing, and you get like
Almost a big booby.
you get
That
like
was,
and we were off the air. That's kind of the idea of the game. So you have
yeah.
multiple U-boats to choose from, which will start later in the war. So the first one you'll start in 9th of January 1941. So that's
Oh,
before the U.S. and before the Soviet Union joined the war, of course.
yeah.
Then you have this one, which is also later. And the later you go in the war, the harder it gets, of course. So the last one
Of
is called
course.
very hard because you're in
Yeah. Oh.
1944, and by that time the Battle of the Atlantic
Oh, the
had.
difficulty is linked to the look. That's a shame.
What do you mean?
Well, I wanted to go for the kitty cat. I don't know. I just.
Yeah, but we're not playing the very hard one, of course, because that's
No,
not
no,
what
no.
we do.
Exactly. That one is normal. It's not too bad.
Yeah, so it's normal. It's 1st June 1941.
Yeah.
So it's just before, of course, the Soviet Union is invaded. But the
Mm-hmm.
downside of it is that this port is annoying. um,
Aha.
it's really an annoying port because yeah.
Oh no.
So we're
Yeah.
just we're
Okay.
just gonna do the first one, normal, 9th of January, because then
Yes.
we have easy access to the sea because France. Yeah, yeah. Just
That's
you don't have to go around Denmark, and it's annoying because it takes you a lot of time to like sail around.
yeah.
So now we have some options for the difficulty. Of course, we want the audio language in German, travel assist dynamic, normal, AI difficulty easy because we don't like difficult games. We want
Speak
make.
for
Shh.
There's some
Yeah, it's all fine.
very avid Dark Souls players in value.
And now we get to like design our own captain.
Ah,
but I usually
cool.
just skip over it because yeah.
Yeah, okay, but at in a game like this, do you think it holds merit?
I get it. It's kind of fun, but
I guess.
there's not much of a personal story. So, for
Do you
example,
get to design your U-boat?
no,
See,
but I think that's something you might get to do in the future because it's still a, oh, we can do this,
oh,
a muscular
that,
large, but it doesn't really change a lot, I guess. But yeah,
a little bit.
it's not a type of game like Mountain Blade where you can like do everything with your character. Also
Yeah, but
because
there it's more about the character as well.
yeah, so
You
this
know?
is I mean it's fun, but it's not really yeah
No,
not really necessary.
no.
We
Does the
also
captain get a lot of screen time in the game? Because then it matters, I
depends how
guess.
you see screen time because of course the U-boat is inside all the time, so basically
Yeah.
everyone gets screen time. But I mean we can also have a name.
Oh, cool.
Just throw me a good German name.
Oh God. You know what I'm gonna say. Meek.
If you're gonna say it,
Meek.
I will like stop the stream immediately. So no.
No, let's go. Oh God, no, that put me on the spot. Um, damn, I don't know. Just go
I just
for
go with the Klaus,
go for Seb. There we go.
but not this last name because
No, no,
it's kind of weird.
Sebastian Virtuoso.
That's not a German name.
But it
That
would be appropriate. What a legend.
hold on. Let me just the stream the chat thing I just told you about isn't working, so I still need to like. It was supposed to work, but it isn't.
It's OBS. What did you expect? That said, I think the audio is fine. I checked earlier. Your voice was a little quiet, but that could be just the Twitch difference.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So I missed a bit
But
of
on Discord,
I
you're
missed a bit
fine.
of the chat. So sorry, Ares, we're indeed playing a Nazi submarine. That's something I did want to touch upon.
I'll keep an eye on the chat.
Yeah, I have it open now as well, so I can just.
Okay.
Now, look, Ares, I have like this stream elements thing, and it said it. I checked
God,
it
then we
before.
missed. Then we missed that. We had to give him.
I mean, you can
Okay.
just go back in and do it again.
Yes, please.
I will
Yes.
after the game's loaded.
Yeah. He needs a beard. I think
So what
that
did you do
is.
today? Well, we made a beard.
That is commitment to the beard, Aris. Are you happy?
I'm relaunching the game just for you. Says the guy, and he was complaining about.
Did you leave
This
it
is
on normal now? Did you leave it on normal now?
yeah,
Go
it was
back.
the same settings, I think.
I okay.
Right? I didn't change anything. Still realism 9%.
Okay, okay, okay.
That's how
Good.
good of a gamer I am.
9%. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's
Hairstyle
go. Beard. Let's uh,
4.
there we go.
Yeah. I want to
Uh,
know what the hair does, but I can't really see it because
there we go.
there's a cap in the
Making the
way.
hair.
Oh, oof. I can't like. Ooh, that's hmm. Yeah,
The
okay.
hair's a little too nice. What the?
What?
No comment on that one. What was that? Yes, the captain's
You
cap.
just have
I
his cap
mean,
on. And Ars also wanted to buy it. Okay. Okay, sure.
Tobias Funke. That's the guy from Arrested Development
Like
that
this?
dresses up as the Blue Man.
I've never
After
watched
you,
it, so I don't know. So
yeah,
it's a
it's
reference
good enough.
I'm not getting.
It's good enough.
So now we go through the loading screen again. Yay!
Okay, you got it on the SSD, right? Or is it on
No,
the
it's not
screen?
on the SSD. No,
Ah, there we go. Okay,
nothing fits on
that's
the SSD anymore.
that's true. Just overtaken by important things.
Just the amount of games I play, I can't have any game on the SSD because it would constantly have to be switched around.
Yeah, yeah.
And it does look like the game is freezing, but it's not. That's just the loading screen being slow.
Oh no, that well,
Yeah,
loading screens these days.
yeah,
I mean, that's expected roll. That's expected loading. What is it? The little circle behavior to me,
so
honestly.
oh yeah, of course we get the scene of them walking towards the U-boat, like hello, we're here. So the first thing you can see, of course, we're playing a German Nazi U-boat. There's no swastikas because that that's kind of a thing. Also makes if you have swastikas in your game, you often can't like release the game in Germany, of course, but also many other countries don't like swastikas in games or movies or whatever, so they often go for the this one, just the German cross thingy, which is I mean I get it, but yeah, it's
It's
like
already an
yeah
immediate, pretty good point for discussion because
I don't
I
and at
mean,
least I don't think we can even stream a swastika. I think unless I'm
boy,
not sure, but I think there was a piece on in the bulletin last week about this, and I think we featured it before. There was this piece which was written on Kotaku. I think it was about 3 months ago or something about a
mm-hmm.
guy who said like, well, we all like strategy games. Some strategy games are like about World War Two, and you can play as Germans. But for example, Hearts of Iron never mentions the Holocaust. It just doesn't exist. Which is, I mean, it's kind of a mental hoop you have to go through. Which is, I mean, it's debatable. It's
Yeah,
debatable. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's yeah. It's a huge discussion point, of
I
course.
mean,
You
it's
know, do you go for authenticity and do you forgo certain things because of that, or the other way around, basically?
yeah,
Um,
yeah, exactly.
that's it. You know, that's the choice you have to make as a developer. And I do get, especially developers that launch things in early access. Um, yeah, it's to be expected that they have maybe less of a budget and have to. They're like, okay, those
Yeah,
sales in Germany, if that we need those.
yeah,
Could be a simple decision like that that drives this, or it's more of a moral standpoint.
yeah. I mean, it's
Uh,
also in chat. They're like saying why we're not going with the Allied submarine. I mean, there's games about Allied submarines. For example, you have Silent Hunter, which is a series. I think it's by Ubisoft as well, which
mm-hmm.
sometimes focuses on German submarines and sometimes focuses on Allied submarines. But of
Yeah.
course, I mean, the links between this game and Das Boat are like kind of obvious. So if you never heard of Das
Yes.
Boat, that's like a really famous. I think it's 80s
Yeah.
war movie about the German submarine in the
I
Second World
uh,
War. So yeah,
I was gonna say I have two previous experiences with you both that
one
I
one is
completely.
Hunt for Red October, and second one is Das Boat. Let me guess.
Of course, because what else made mainstream media? I mean, I'm obviously familiar with the concept and the workings of a U-boat, but for example, the history among about them or anything that is no,
Yeah,
far from.
yeah. So what Pasco says in chat, Silent Hunter 3 and 5 were German subs, and Silent Hunter 4 was US subs. And also, I get the point for people making games about German subs because that's the thing the Germans were known for in the Second World War. As it comes to naval warfare, aside from like the Bismarck, which sunk in early 1941. So I mean,
Yeah.
there was not much left of the German navy after that, and they went full on
No.
with the U-boats. So
Yeah.
I get it. It's yeah, and I mean, and
As
just to be fair, the U.S. submarines were shit. So
it's probably just a better narrative to tell.
as yeah,
If you look at it from a pure storytelling standpoint, it it there's no if you want to tell a good story, there's no good or evil. You know, there's no you have a point of view, but that's it. And effectively, if you have a narrative like this that is much more interesting and compelling, it's like when the Star Wars games went for the dark side. But yeah, it it's an
yeah.
interesting angle to look at narrative. I think.
Yeah, so Aris is now saying in chat like, what's the? Is there point in showing defeat? As long as you don't make your defeat sympathetic. And
Yeah,
I've
or
not played
mark
this
it
game
or
until
like or whatever.
I've not played this game until the end, but there's no real personal narrative in this game aside from the ones you create yourselves. So there's no like the
Okay.
game
Yeah.
doesn't like it doesn't pressure you into making bonds with your submarine sailors,
Yeah.
which of course would
Yeah.
happen in real life. I mean, like Brothers in Arms, that would happen anywhere, but still. So let us play this
Yeah.
game.
Yes.
This is the wrong dude. I don't need him. I need him. So the game is based around orders from the Admiralty. So there's like you had the BDU, which is like the Befehlshaber um, der Unterseeboten, I think, probably, which was like the guy who said, well, we need to do this with the U-boats, and we have 3 missions we can select from. We need to patrol either of those 3 sections
Okay.
and sink enemy
Okay.
trade ships. That's basically the thing which U-boats
Yeah.
did.
All
Um,
right.
so I think we'll go with this one because it's closer.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't like sailing that long because it's kind of a waiting game as well. This game,
Okay.
and this is what I already told you, Vincent. But this is, I think, what makes the game a little bit different from other games about submarines is the fact that you like are responsible for restocking, refueling, like making sure you have enough torpedoes on board to even like fire and go to war. So I kind of like it. It's more of
Yeah.
aside from a submarine game, it's also a bit about well management, crew management, management of stuff, food management. As you can see, we need food as well.
Did it really say canned bread?
Yeah,
Boo.
and canned meat. Yeah, so there's a lots
I
of
mean,
mods.
canned meat.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of mods already for this game, which like change the way these foodstuffs work.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
canned bread really was a thing because I mean, these submarines not in this game, but in real life they would be out on sea for like months in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, you kind of need stuff you can preserve long enough. So lots of sausages, lots of dried meat.
Yeah. How long
Yeah.
were those like campaigns?
What do you say? I just
The campaigns out at sea, how long were they on average?
I really don't know. I mean, I know a little bit of this history, but not that much about it. Unfortunately, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I can imagine them being out on sea for at least a month or
Let's
two.
be your wiki man on this. Huh?
Yeah, and also like we have this map. Of course, here we see the Europe during the Second World War. It's before the Germans attacked the Soviet Union and before the U.S. joined the war. But what would happen is that they would have tender ships. So there would be ships where the U-boats could refresh their supplies, refresh the men, also refuel. So they
Mm-hmm.
would like sail around somewhere like here, and also just some ports. So there's also cases of German U-boats docking in Spain, which is of course a neutral country, so you can't really do that. But I mean, like there were U-boats over here, sighted over here near New York. So I mean, it's kind of a long sail. So that being said, I think we're all ready to go. So let
Nice.
me plot a course towards the grid. Let us steam on. And now we're sailing. We have left.
Nice.
Yeah, so Pasco, it's Vichy France and occupied by Germany.
I was about to say, what's the what's the deal with Vichy?
Yeah, so it's I don't think you can really clearly see it on stream, but
Yeah.
it's gearcheerd. So there's like little
Yeah.
stripes through it, as in it's not really German, but it's kind of like a puppet government, which it was.
Oh.
The same goes for I think is there another? Yeah, so the French Vichy Protectorate, and so it is marked
Oh.
differently. It just doesn't. really show on the map, but it is.
All right.
Trust me.
Yeah, yeah,
And so the idea also of this game is that the map is dynamic. So if you play later on in the war, so we're now at what's the date? 17th of January, and when you're in June,
yeah.
you'd see the Germans invading the Soviet Union.
Oh.
And of course, the later you get in the war, the more shipping you have, especially towards the Soviet Union, but also the
Yeah.
more escorts you have, so the more difficult it gets. And there's also this nice ×5 button, which I really like because it's sailing is kind of slow. Yeah,
Oh man.
it's really slow. There's mods to speed this up, but I haven't installed them because in any game where you speed up too much, you can like f up big time as well when you like sail straight into a convoy or an escort. You're like, hi, it's
Yeah,
me.
because that's the premise now. This is basically the walking part of a Final Fantasy game,
Yeah,
where you might run into wild XYZ.
yeah, you might. So that's the whole point. So we have to like we have to travel 25 22,250 kilometers in this area, so in these two grid slots,
Yeah.
and we also have to sink 7,000 tons of tonnage, which is about one or two trade ships.
Okay.
Um, but I doubt we'll find them here, so we probably just sail around here and then go here.
Yeah.
So the closer you get to the English mainland or to the Isle of Great Britain, the more
Yeah.
ships you'd find. And especially in these early days of the war, it's kind of easy because they often didn't have or no escorts at all, just trade ships without escorts, so no destroyers. So
Yeah.
it does get faster, by the way. So when you're in open sea, you get a faster because
Oh, okay.
it
I
doesn't need to
see.
render the what do you call it, the land,
Yeah. Okay.
which makes sense.
Yeah. So now it's basically rendering the whole time. Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, so
Uh,
it's not rendering land or anything or any other boats.
we can have a cinematic.
Yeah, so this is what the like I told, this
Mode.
is what the game does different. You can like yeah, my scroll button is a bit messed up. You can like zoom in to at the sub whilst
Oh,
it's
that's
sailing,
awesome.
so you can look see what all your dudes are doing, how life is on the boat. I probably want to like switch some food over as well. I took way too much food. Of course I did because
Did you go back to the engine room? I'm interested in that one.
yeah. So these are the engines. There's two huge ass engines, and they each what you call it? They each power one propeller. So the U-boat you can't really see it. It has two propellers. Maybe if I like
No.
it has two propellers and each one is like
Oh, they have a separate drive shaft and engine
yeah.
and everything.
Because if one engine breaks down, you still have the other one. Or if one propeller breaks
Oh,
down, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
having two
Oh, that makes
systems is
total
of course
sense.
makes sense because if one thing breaks down and you're in the middle of the sea, you're like, ah, damn.
It's weird though because from what I can tell, and it's kind of hard to tell because they're moving about. That's better. Those are 9 cylinders, and I can tell you from that's probably like maybe unique to U-boats. I don't know if it's accurate, but
Uh,
9 cylinders is
I
not
guess
it's
so.
not done. It's not done. Like or maybe yeah, I
Uh,
guess like you
uh,
can stick like it could be done. Anything can be done in engine configurations, but it got my attention immediately actually.
yeah, I don't
The
know.
number of
Maybe it's a mistake, but I think they did pretty.
but
They
they
did a
did good
pretty
on
good
this.
up. Yeah,
I've been in engine rooms with oil rigs, which are much bigger than this still. The engines, they're 12-cylinder engines or 24-cylinder engines even. Diesels always, obviously, and they run at a very low RPM. Also, it's basically a constant. And here it's a higher RPM because you're doing more than just generating electricity for and driving your drill
yeah.
bits.
So what these engines are doing are they're driving like the propeller
Exactly.
shafts, but they're also generating power for the batteries.
Exactly, for everything else,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah,
So
yeah, that's well done. I mean, on their part, that is
uh,
very detailed.
I mean the whole submarine itself is whole very detailed. So here you have like the kitchen.
Yeah, yeah,
Here you have some crew stuff. Here you have like the main compartment with all the so you can see here here's the hams hanging, which we don't have,
Yeah.
but okay. Here's like
Ah, and the
the
yeah, it's and the mechanical look of it as well.
yeah.
It's all like stuff that is very,
You see
I
all
don't
the
know.
valves. You're like, oh, they probably don't need
Yeah.
them. You do. So
Yeah,
these are like the
it
depth
looks all
steers.
much
Yeah.
more like white, yellow, gray, and yellow and red and stuff and blue are the vibrant colors that draw attention, and that is here already a little bit, but
Yeah.
otherwise it's much cleaner now. And the floor is usually also painted
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
in marine environments for anti-grip and stuff, obviously.
Yeah. So you can see there's like the it's like of those little grippy
Yeah,
metal
and on
stuff.
top of exactly, and say combined with like special paint, you can make that
Well, I
even
think the
better.
point is
That's so detailed, man.
this is the place where the most water would be coming in because of course you have the conning tower with an open hatch,
Yeah.
and when it rains,
Okay.
like the water comes in over here.
Yeah.
But we're not done because here we have the two radio rooms. So we have one. This is the radio room where we have the radio. And
Yeah.
we also have the listening room. So U-boats used hydrophones, which are basically a big microphone stuck underneath the submarine, um,
Okay.
with which they could hear. So you could hear other ships. When we encounter something, we
Okay.
can probably hear them as well. You can literally hear the propellers of other ships. And by the way the propeller turns and the speed at which it turns, you could determine what kind of ship it is. So if it's an enemy,
Yeah. Okay.
so that they
Oh
would
wow,
have
that's cool.
characteristics of all those boats, and they could do a lot with just hearing.
Yeah.
And this is also, I think, this is pre-sonar times, as
Yeah, I was
in,
about to say no sonar question mark.
yeah. So I think they did have it later in the war, um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
sonar is like, I've also played sub sims. Say that 20
Yeah.
times, please. Sub sims of later times, which is based. It's called Cold Waters. It's based on yeah. It's kind of the Hunt of the Red October kind of game, like late 80s. Another Cold
Yeah.
War, like the Cold War became a hot war, and there you do have passive and active sonar. You never
Yeah.
actually used active sonar just because when you ping, everyone knows you're there. So pinging
Yeah.
is bad. You don't ping because you ping if you like or want them to know you're there, or if you're like you really need to be sure that you like yeah.
So
Yeah,
if
so
you have the
Pasco
power to
says
back it up, if you
yeah.
have enemies around you, for
Yeah, so
example.
Pasco says I let destroyers at S Dick, which is basically an early version of sonar. So I guess the Germans didn't have it this early in the war. It's
Oh,
also
nice.
it's also yeah, especially in the earlier stages of war, we probably gonna see later. Um, the boats would be on the surface most of the time. Even
Yeah.
when attacking, sometimes they would be on the surface. So especially if you're like
Okay.
not really sure if a boat is a warship, they had to
Mm-hmm.
like surface and announce to the ship, "Hey, we're attacking you. Please get off board."
Really?
Yeah, I'm not really sure if that happened in the Second World War, but especially in the beginnings of the First World War, it was really a thing that you had to make presence of. You can't just like. I mean, it's like killing without letting them know you're there. It was kind of
Yeah.
like frowned upon. But of course, when the war progressed, the U-boats would stay longer times on the water. They found somewhere lying in a shed in the Netherlands. They found
Yeah.
an ingenious system called a snorkel, which is basically a huge ass pipe with where the
Exactly.
exhaust fumes could go. No one ever thought of that because the biggest problem with the U-boat is it can't go beneath the waves when the diesel engines are turned on. All the way around, it can't turn on the diesel engines when it's below the waves because the fumes can't go anywhere,
Yeah.
and the crew will like die because diesel fumes
So
are not really good for you.
are are no are the fumes then like captured when they have to like it's all buoyants, right? So to go down and up, they use buoyants. They don't use their engines, correct?
No, it's mostly buoyants. Yeah, so they can like they have planes, so they can like steer a little bit, but
Yeah.
that's more like of angle of attack.
Yeah. Okay.
But most of
Yeah.
the times, yeah, it's like you can see it all the way at the front ballast tank.
Yeah.
So what
Exactly.
submarines would
Yeah.
do, but what they would do is when you go down, they pump these full of water,
Exactly.
and they have compressed air, which is all the way at the back again.
Yeah.
Hold on. which here there's some compressors, and they
Yeah.
like spray in compressed air into those holes where there'll be water to go up again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And by
exactly.
the amount of water you put in those ballast tanks, you can like control the depth of a submarine.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, that's what I meant
Yeah.
with the buoyant. So they don't use their engines for that.
No, but you could,
No.
as you like, if you like power up and put like the rudder, what you call it, in an airplane it's called elevators, but I don't think they're called
Yeah.
elevators on the boat. If you like put them the way the ship points down, you can of course go down quicker. Um,
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we just finished the. This is the radio room. Here's the officers' bunks. So this is us, Tobias Funke.
Hans still chilling, by the way. I mean,
Look at this dude. He's like, oh,
yeah, but Hans has been chilling much longer, mate. He hasn't gotten up at all. Like ours
but I
has
got.
like been, ours is a bit restless. This dude has been like chilling like a boss. Like
Yeah, but he's like, yeah, he's been working hard.
it was pointed out by Irish. That's why I'm.
Yeah, yeah, dive planes, of course. They're called dive planes. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Pesco.
yeah.
Here we have
There we go.
the poor sons of bitches who are sleeping with their torpedoes.
I mean,
Poor
it's,
dudes.
I guess.
We're carrying a lot. Oh, we didn't bring enough. Oh damn. We're carrying 7. So in total, we're carrying 14 torpedoes, 12 in
Yeah.
the front, and 2 in the back.
Okay.
So these dudes are like literally sleeping with torpedoes sitting next to them.
I mean,
Ah. Yeah,
it's,
Aris freaks
if it
out. Yeah,
blows up, the whole boat goes. So I mean,
yeah. So that's a thing that happened. I think quite a lot. That something went wrong with the torpedoes. And you can see those are big things. They're pretty big. They're designed to sink like a surface vessel. I mean,
I mean,
yeah, they can easily sink a
no.
submarine. Yeah.
I have like a joke that only you would get.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, Nelson Piquet's daughter has slept next to a torpedo.
What did you say? I couldn't hear it.
Nelson Piquet's daughter. I don't know her name anyway. She slept next to a torpedo.
Damn.
Daniel. Daniel. So you're plotting a course now to basically patrol? Because we haven't run into anything yet.
No, because submarines are notoriously bad at picking up targets on the surface. Because when you're like running like we are with our diesel engines on,
Especially at the speed, I mean.
yeah, but also just with your diesel engines on,
Yeah.
we're not even on the list on the hydrophone. But the
Yeah,
dude
yeah,
will
okay.
will not hear anything because the sound of your diesel engines is so loud.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll just not pick anything up. But once we're in the, let me just slow down a bit. Let
Yeah.
our radio man radio back to base that we're patrolling. So that's one thing I
Yeah.
don't really see in this game, but I guess
Yeah.
it should be somewhere. It's the Enigma. I haven't found it
Yeah.
yet, but I guess
I
it's
read
it's
about it on the wiki.
it's in here somewhere because it must be because that's the way they like. I think it's over there, but I can't like. I think it's over there.
Oh yeah.
Because they used the Enigma to like talk to like the Admiralty because that's the only way of communications they had, which was like what you call it? Crypto. What do you call it when encrypted? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, encrypted. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
So
their communications with land was only because that, if I recall correctly, and obviously from the movie with Benedict Cucumber Pat, um, that yeah, yeah, that they it was only for U-boats, if I recall correctly.
no, they use it for
That
other.
it was used,
They
or
use
was
it
it
for
for
other
other things?
things as well, but the U-boats
Yeah,
are most known for it,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
because they were the biggest danger at the moment for the Allies.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
knowing where a U-boat is of course, I mean, it's amazing because you'd know which area or to avoid or to like patrol with seaplanes. So that's something
Yeah.
you'd see
Yeah.
later in the war. Is
Yeah.
they'd have planes which could like fly this entire distance, or they'd
Exactly.
have the range to like fly to Iceland and fly back or something. So they could cover the entire patch of the Atlantic Ocean
Yeah.
And the U-boat being attacked by planes is like, if you can't go down on time, you're dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because any
Okay.
hole in a submarine is like deadly. It's kind of the whole thing.
Yeah, they didn't really have like the compartments that a normal ship has,
Well, they did, but
because,
they
well, probably much smaller because
yeah,
obviously the where the compartments are, that's where the rest of,
yeah.
that's the whole ship.
So
So,
they'd have like these they could shut these doors and they're pretty watertight. But of course,
exactly.
when water is in here, you're doomed. And the
Yeah,
more water is
that's
in your
true.
ship, of course, like I explained earlier, the ship dies with water. So if there's water in here, eh,
Yeah,
the ship is going down basically.
dead in the water.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Greeks mean
Hmm.
indeed they had a fancier version of the Enigma because the Germans
Ah,
wanted to keep secret where they were. Um, and there's like lots of videos on the internet. I can recommend one of Number File that like explain how the Enigma eventually got cracked again because it had been cracked many times. I think the first ones were the Polish in 1939 who cracked the Enigma.
nice. I will Google
Yeah,
that
yeah, they did.
because that's then a story that
Uh,
I can share with my girlfriend
and then
because
they
basically,
upgraded it with another mathematic thing. But the one thing like the British and Bletchley Park found out is that the Enigma never encrypts it to the same letter. So the E could never become the E.
yeah,
And that's like one of the biggest flaws of the Enigma is the fact that you could guess at least what it wasn't was, and you could guess also
yeah,
because
exactly.
the Germans would start any message with the same thing and end every message with the same thing, so you can anticipate. Okay, so we know this is this, we know this is this. It's for
Yeah,
U-boats, so probably there's something about boats in there as well. So I mean,
yeah.
it's also just a lot of guesswork. That's
It's a
what.
lot of, yeah, of course, of course. Now, apparently, the first one was Marian Rzhevsky in 1932.
1932. Ha! Just
Yeah,
7 years off.
yeah, yeah. um, yeah. It was with the help of a spy though, a French spy called Hans Thilo Schmidt.
Yeah, so that's what the Allies would do
Very
as
French.
well. They would hunt U-boats and hope to catch one on the surface.
Oh
Because
yeah,
catching one on the surface and going in there and having the crew surrender before it would sink would mean they'd get their hands on not only the Enigma but also the code books. So the Germans, of course, were aware with the fact that the Enigma could be cracked, and they like what they do is they'd have another code for every month. So there was like this setting on the Enigma which you could change, like the cipher in essence.
yeah,
And they'd have different ciphers for different times and different months, and having that book with knowing, oh, we're November, we should use this cipher. I mean, you
exactly.
could encrypt
Yeah,
the message or decrypt the message. So
yeah.
now we're like going beneath the waves. We've
Nice.
switched over to the electro engines. These are quiet now, which
Mm-hmm.
means our radio dude can go on the listening room,
Aha. Okay.
and then we can go listen for allied ships.
Nice. So, Rejevsky um, invented the characteristics method, apparently, but that became useless pretty quickly because it was a simple method and it was simple to crack. But then he invented an electromechanical device that was dubbed the cryptologic bomb or bomba uh, cryptologiczna. Yeah, I can't read Polish, luckily, but it was still a hard word. um, and it was based on the Zygalski sheet method, apparently. So it was indeed a poll,
Yeah.
and it that it started so early, I had no idea.
Yeah, so
Uh,
it was a German thing before the war even. So even
yeah,
before Hitler came in power, of course.
yeah,
And I mean, all countries were like trying to break each other's encryptions because every country had attack plans for any other country. That's what they do.
mm-hmm.
So it became an instant like competition to like break them, and then the Germans or any other one would come with a better version of the Enigma, and then they
Yeah,
break it again, and then again and again. And the point
yeah,
with Enigma is it's basically mathematics. So, like that's why they built the bomb in Bletchley Park, just
yeah,
to have the computing power. Like if you try long enough, you'll find it. And of course, they know certain things, so they know it doesn't uh, like it's not never the same letter. It's also it starts probably with Hitler something ish and ends with another Hitler-ish something-ish, and it's something about
Exactly.
boats,
Yeah.
so they could like guess what's you already have
Yeah.
part of the puzzle. So
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's just how they did it.
But I had no idea that Turing's then setting was in a much later stage. That
Yeah,
it
yeah.
started like in 39. Yeah, so that's 8 year already. 8 years already after that. Um, yeah, and it went on as well up until quite long. And there
So,
were various countries contributing to it as well, apparently.
yeah, of course, because it but it would, I think every country would do that. So
Yeah.
I mean, the Germans were probably also breaking the other codes, and the Americans were probably also breaking the Japanese codes, which they did, of course. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's what they did
Yeah.
with Midway. The battle at Midway was also part of a cryptology win because they like deceived the Japanese to attacking Midway.
Yeah.
But this is basically what the U.S. would do. They would go down, blow the waves, turn off the engines, go slow, try to listen,
And wait.
try to hear if they find
Yeah.
anything. If they haven't found anything, they'd come up again, start sailing for some more, then go down again, then go up again. Especially in the early stages of the war, because they didn't really have anything else to go by. So that's what you do: go up, go down, go up, go down. They wouldn't be
Yeah.
at the depths normal. Like nowadays, submarines are most of the time they're submerged.
Yeah.
In these days, they would 99% of the time they were in submerged. They
That's
were on the
because they're
sea.
nuclear, of course.
Yeah, they don't need to surface.
Yeah. Exactly.
These boats do need to surface mainly because they need fresh air,
Yeah.
and they need to just yeah. And later
Yeah.
on the
You have
war,
like all these purifying systems now.
yeah. I mean these boats
And
had those as well, so there is ventilation.
yeah, exactly. But that's just
Yeah,
ventilation.
yeah. You can put what you call it um, these in potassium absorbers, so they absorb the CO2, which
Okay.
makes the air breathable for a longer amount of time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so
I
you
just
can
didn't.
like, I
Yeah.
mean, you can like recycle air for a certain amount of time, and then you really
Yeah.
need to like, yeah, yeah, or get up, or just the people would die. They would suffocate. That's what happened as well
Yeah.
with
Exactly.
submarines. That's what happened,
Yeah,
of
because
course,
now.
with the Kursk, which I think
Yeah.
sunk early 2000. That's what happened with most of the sailors on the Kursk. The air just
Yeah.
ran out,
Yeah.
which is a horrible way to go,
Exactly.
of course.
Pretty shitty. It's like getting caught in the gas in a in a battle royale. Like, well,
Yeah,
that sucks.
yeah.
I died to my own stupidity
I mean,
or lack of attention,
you'd be pretty
I guess.
stupid to sit in the submarine. I'd never do it. I mean,
Oh man,
uh,
you got to be a special breed for that. The same as with any like
tanks or
sitting on a
planes. Yeah,
ship for like months on end is something you have to be willing to do. Same as with those oil rigs. Yeah, that's. But no, what I was about to say with the whole air thing is that these days it's all about air purifiers, even water purifiers.
yeah.
They just take seawater and have a purifier on board
I mean, that's
and
what
have
they
endless
what the
amounts of
U-boats
water.
had as well, because otherwise they couldn't be on at sea for that long.
Of course, exactly. So that's technology that's been around for so long, but now it's so refined that it's absolutely normal. Uh, it's pretty interesting.
Oh,
The batteries are close to
yeah.
depletion.
I hadn't switched on the
You
the
need to
diesel
recharge.
engines.
You need to recharge your
Yeah.
controller.
I
I
hadn't
forgot.
switched on the diesel engines, so.
Ah, yes.
So what this game does as well, there's like these bars at the top, so you see your battery capacity, our fuel capacity, our oxygen, and our discipline. So
Yeah,
when a discipline drops at below zero, one of the sailors will probably break. He'll just go mad, and this often happens at times where you're at pretty deep. So I can show that. Let's just go. Let's just go deep. So
giggity.
you can see the depth thingy. I'm not
Yeah,
going to do that.
no,
But the
no, no.
deeper you go, so this is our alarm dive. This is what I also do. They'd like have drills to see how
Yeah,
fast the ship could dive. It's not really in the game yet, but they'll be like running like they are now. And what they would often do is to have as many men in the front of the ship, because when
Oh
it like
yeah, of course.
it planes down, so the more mass you have in the front, the faster it goes down. It's that easy.
Yeah, exactly. And they also put that in. That's nice.
I think it's kind of in there. I think these
Yeah.
dudes are just chilling here, maybe I don't know, but they
And the other
kind
ones
of
are just
ran,
running about
yeah.
panically.
And this dude's just chilling there. He's like, nah, not for
So,
me, man.
is this Hans? I think it's
No,
Hans.
it's not Hans. Hans is one of the. Hans
Oh
is
no,
here. He's sitting.
see, he is chilling again though. I mean,
But you can see it.
gotta
You kind of can't see it on on stream.
no.
But we're kind of in an angle like this, so we're really going down, down. But this is something they basically only do in emergencies, because they're going down this deep. It's kind of dangerous because ship can go. I don't really want that, but you can see it here. This plane is going down pretty quick,
Mm,
especially because they
where's
can't.
that? Oh
They
yeah, I see.
and they also can't use the toilet at these depths.
Yeah, okay, but time doesn't like fly by. I mean, how does that impact your discipline? It's probably simulated still. Oh, it's still at 97%.
Yeah, but it's going down. It's going down, and like we're now at 60 meters below sea level, which is a lot. I'm not sure what the atmospheric pressure is down at these depths, but it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
like at a level you don't really want to be in. But then I've said, I mean, I've showed what happens when you go down. Let poor dudes come up again. Yeah, we're just gonna complete this patrol, and then we're
Patrol. Yeah.
gonna go
We
for
didn't run
some.
into anything.
No, it's all. It's.
Sad
I mean,
times.
it's in the middle of the ocean, so
Well,
we'll
yeah.
probably set out to over here
Yeah, take
ish.
a yeah. Let's just go straight into next to just between Ireland and UK. Just go,
That's kind of nah, because the sea is really
the
shallow
equivalent
there.
of the equivalent of rush B. Just send it.
Just go, go.
Yeah. Let
No,
me get a
probably
quick
here.
sip of water, if I may.
Of
My
course you
throat's
may.
getting dry. I did not foresee any.
all this talking.
Not smart. Oh man, have some red velvet cake left. Awesome.
Ah, so we want you.
So you got 5 members that you have to manage, and the rest is
Yeah, so
just
these are the officers.
NPCs.
Yeah, the
Oh
officers are
yeah,
the ones
okay.
you can manage. We've this is U-boat. Damn, it's another U-boat. Come on.
It's a friendly.
Yeah.
It's friendly.
So
I
the
know.
Allies wouldn't really have many U-boats in the Atlantic. They
Okay.
more often have their U-boats in the Pacific.
Okay.
Look, we found a small group, which is a
Mm-hmm.
convoy. What we're now gonna do is we're gonna surface again.
Yeah.
We're also gonna plot their course so we know which way they're heading.
Okay.
But we found them undersea, but we also want to like have a full battery and a full oxygen when we attack them, and they're still 70-ish kilometers away, so we can kind of figure out where they are in a while.
And if you surface, you can't be like spotted by their
You can
radars.
but not this early in the war.
Okay. Yeah.
So what I often do is just go up, then go down again, look where they are, because you just, especially in the beginning, you don't have or the battery capacity to like
Yeah.
maintain long stints underwater, especially because you have all the stuff on. So you did, yeah, gyro compass, which helps the navigation. You could turn that off. And also the oxygen is just, it runs out pretty quickly. So that's where the snorkel, which came I think late 1941, begin 42, came in. It was
Yeah.
really useful because you could be underwater and still have the diesel engines and
Yeah,
fresh air for the sailors.
basically like a shark.
Yeah.
You
So we just
just
hope we find them
right below
again.
the surface with your snorkel
Yeah.
out. Where's that second ping stay, man? Go on then.
Oh no, they're there.
There we go. That's their course. Nice.
So there's in this game there's automated course calculation thing, but I often like to do it myself because it's easier. So
Yeah.
you'd plot the course. You have this wonderful tool with which you can calculate angles.
Oh,
Let me
neat.
see. It's it's about right. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. You go there. So you could also just see it on here. So they're like traveling 258. But what I do is you have 360, subtract 113. It's about the same.
Yeah.
So that's how you know where they're going.
Well, that's cool.
Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Oh no.
Exit the main menu. Fuck.
Delete all progress.
No. Okay.
I know. We've detected. Oh, there's more. So
Uh-oh. You're getting
uh,
ganked.
this is a convoy.
Yeah.
So that means there's corvettes or destroyers or other allied warships there. This is probably a undefended convoy.
So we go for the defended one, right?
It's harder,
Yes.
and
To the point of
probably these are like 4 ships or 3 ships we could just easily sink.
yeah, but we can go for them and then descend back on the other ones.
That's true.
Send it. And they're going much slower as well. It links, or there's just more blips.
Yeah, as well. Like the big ones make more sound because there's more ships.
Oh.
And turning around the U-boat takes a long time. I can tell you.
No handbrake.
No handbrake. Stopping a U-boat is also kind of hard.
Yeah. I imagine being some giant soft part in the front that just goes boop. That's when they arrive at the port.
A big parachute which like drags in the water.
Oh, Saltasar has arrived in the chat as well.
Hello,
Seen him before, I think. Hello, hello.
Salt. You see, haha, haha.
Oh man, good. No, actually, good. I applaud that jokes. Always do.
So we want you back on the thingy. Let's hope we can find them again. Oh, there they are. So they've traveled more than I expected.
What?
But this is what happens when you get
Did
closer.
they teleport me?
Yeah, but when they get closer, it's harder to like pinpoint them where they exactly are.
Okay. That's another. No, that's
No,
the
that's the
other
same
ones.
one. That's this one.
They're
No,
gonna
it's
escape
another
now
one as well.
because.
This is the convoy. This is another convoy, which we haven't picked up before. Like I told you, these waters are way more
Interesting.
populated with ships we can sink.
Yeah, exactly.
And Angus is also here.
Aha!
It
Aha!
it's
Hello,
indeed
Angus.
suitably simulatory, but not as difficult as you'd think.
Simulatory.
I mean, I'm also only just playing on like 9 realism, so
We're trying to sink boats, Saltasar. That's
it's really
what
archaeological.
archeo gaming is. What we're doing.
But I'm not an archaeologist, and neither are you, so
That is correct. Well, you have a bit more of the background required, I would say.
I
This
mean,
only
you
started getting interested for me a couple of years ago. Otherwise,
you could say that. Pasco
no,
lost a
we
bit of
didn't
the
sink
internet.
anything.
No, we didn't
No,
sink the Ark Royal yet. I don't think it's in the game yet, but you can sink the Nelson battleship.
the Nelson.
Oh, we're also kind of low. Oh, I should have done this earlier. We're low on compressed air. Oh no. Where are you? Why can't I find you? You're not the way out. No, you're not.
What? Mate.
Ah, damn. Now we need to surface again. Otherwise, we'll never catch them. So this is the problem with these kinds of games. You're like 9 times out of 10, you're just chasing some ships around, and it's really annoying because you like
We want to see the combat. That's the
I
point,
want to
of
sink some
course.
ships.
Exactly. Um, yeah, and if there was an auto mode, then it wouldn't be very sim-like, of
And
course.
there's no like what you call it, um, training missions or scenarios where you could just play out. You'd be dropped in the middle of a
Yeah.
convoy, which probably there will be in the future, but they're just not in yet.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a shame, I think, because that's what I like. For example, about the other Cold Waters I talked about, you have like these scenarios where you just get dropped into a scenario and you can just start sinking ships immediately because that's what we all came for. We're not coming here for this.
No, exactly. No, no, exactly.
Come on, where are you? This can be royally frustrating. And now they're behind. It's so annoying. So
What?
it's in a souped up version of Sid Meier's Silent Service. So the other game I posted in our document of games to stream was
Mm-hmm.
Cold Waters, which is actually based on Sid Meier's Silent Service.
Ah.
Yeah, and indeed, Pesco, there are people who only play Silent Hunter in real time.
Yeah,
So
but there's also people that do real-time flights in Flight Simulator, and to that
yeah, but
extent,
I
I
get
guess
that.
sim racing is not even that crazy,
I
you know?
get that because flying is flying to somewhere. From like, I get that you have to think. I'm just
Still, I mean, if it's a real flight, yes, because you get to see all kinds of cool shit. But if you cross an ocean, I
that's
mean,
true. Yeah,
how enticing is that? If you're in a real plane, at least you have people to talk to, you have stuff to do, you have, that's, yeah. There's very little sims that actually gel with me other than racing sims, if I think about it, honestly.
yeah. I mean,
I guess a flight sim in a regular setting, where you just fly about, or combat flight, obviously, is one of the games that I've always enjoyed a lot. Come to think of it, think I bought Ace Combat a while ago, the latest, like 7 or something, or whatever they're at, just to play it again because they're pretty good games. They're pretty fun, and they have that like Japanese flair about them. But otherwise, yeah, there's not a lot
where?
of sims that gel
What?
with me.
How? So annoying.
Do you not think that they might be a different group?
No, it's the same group because they're exactly the same course.
But what are they doing?
It's so
What
annoying.
is? Oh, maybe they're collecting fishnets, mate.
Might be.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, sim in general, and with all the peripherals that come with it, has definitely met a big rise thanks to COVID, as is mentioned.
Yeah.
Man, it's very true. Like, I mean, look at how prices got inflated on that kind of stuff.
I think we're finally.
Oh yeah, Ace Combat is definitely it's just because I wanted to play another like flying game. It's the same reason I bought F1 2020. It's a bit
I just
more
wanted another
arcadey.
one.
There's it's less arcadey, less sim. I mean, it's to relax that I play games these days, and it used to have to be all about realism and stuff.
Oh,
Um,
damn you. There's
I
another
had some
U-boat.
really good F-16 games when I was a kid, and I played a lot of that. And that was a much harder game than Ace Combat as well. Don't remember the names
So I
of
think
all of them.
we found another U-boat.
Will they get them?
We found another U-boats.
We're getting close now, though.
Yeah, so I hope to God that they haven't already sunk all the Allied shipping, and that it's only neutral ships, because then I'll rage.
Apparently, according to Angus, I'm fairly low. I couldn't hear my
Yeah,
own voice
I've
briefly.
turned you up a little bit, so
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. It also depends on how far my mic is. Uh,
you just really need to talk into your mic.
well. Yeah.
So now we've lost them again, which is royally
Oh
annoying.
God.
So this is kind of I think this is something they do need to improve, because this is kind of iffy.
Tedious.
Yeah, it's kind of
Tedious.
tedious all
Yeah.
the time. It's kind of, but
You'll get
we have
them.
found one, two, at least two enemy vessels.
Oh. Okay.
So
It's happening.
it's finally happening, people. We're sinking some people.
Oh, that's a cool. Like, just zoom in.
Yeah. So I do this so I can see they don't have any guns on their ships,
Okay.
which means I could actually just surface and shoot them with the deck gun. But that's not the content we come for. But it does mean that I can like go deck a wash and
Yeah.
start up the diesel engines again, just to get closer a little bit,
Exactly.
because we know they're here now. So
Before you crash into them.
yeah, I turned off collisions, so that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But that's actually a pretty useful tactic to fight
Yeah.
submarines. It's like a last resort. They just often ram them, because a destroyer can take a hit, a submarine can't.
That's true. That's true.
So we're behind them, which is not like the best place to be for submarine, because you often want them to have them perpendicular, because that's the best way
Yeah. Yeah.
to shoot.
Exactly.
So we now probably go down again. You see, the moment we go down, we find them, because we can hear them.
Yeah.
So you see,
Exactly.
this convoy has two ships we can attack, and one we can't. Um, so this one is a neutral freighter. It's probably so it's American. We can't attack it
Yeah.
yet. But these two are British or Canadian. This is Norwegian, so we can attack those. So we will. We want to have this dude back on the listening room.
Yeah. I mean, Angus, if you can break ice in the amounts that those icebreakers do, I guess you can sink a submarine.
Yeah,
Doesn't probably
yeah,
even
and yeah,
need that much reinforcement.
the whole point with the submarine is they're kind of easy to sink. I mean,
Yeah.
you've heard about the depth charges and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, they often don't even need to hit a U-boat with a depth charge to sink it, just to come close enough that the hull
Yeah.
would breach and the thing would sink.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So why?
Glass cannons, as we call them in many other gaming genres.
Yeah, that's basically what submarines are. They pack a real big punch, because they can sink a ship with one.
Ah, yes. Okay, I see your figurative speech now. I guess I did not. That did not register earlier.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, if it's your last resort, I guess it's more about.
So
Yeah.
this is kind of annoying. They're going 7 knots as well, I think. So I can't really catch up.
So and you can't speed up. This
I
is it.
can probably. No, I can.
There you go. ERS, mate. Come on.
Why can't my captain see them? It's so annoying. So this is also a cool thing, which you can do is you go into manual mode.
Oh, sick! And then you can help him spot.
Well, we need to do it all by ourselves. So I promised you some torpedo action, but I have a slight issue, as in it's misty, so I can't see them. I will never be able to see them. So that can only mean one thing: service the boat. We're going in full guns blazing. But
So
that
anyway, I started blasting.
yeah,
Okay.
but that's
Let's
something
go.
I really like about this game. The fact that you can, or you have to like do this yourself, and you can like I think you can do all tasks yourself. So I can also do the listening. I'm not really sure how this works, to be fair.
That is awesome.
But this is how they'd like determine where they'd go, or
Oh, that
where
is
the other
so
ships are,
cool.
so they could hear. but I don't know how this works, so I'm not gonna do that again. But
Okay.
we also don't need him anymore because it's not multiplayer yet, but see the moment
Yeah,
we
so you
go.
could form a crew
Yeah, or just a wolf
with
pack,
your homies and
which is what the German U-boats would do, is they would form a new pack, a wolf pack,
okay.
which would be multiple submarines attacking a convoy at the same time. Because I mean,
Oh, okay.
that's one of the things the U-boats have, of course, compared to other ships, is surprises, not knowing where the enemy
Exactly.
is. But we can still attack with torpedoes if we want, because we can also attack ships from like our conning tower, but we can't really see anything. So we might want to get a little bit closer so I can do this. So it's basically the same thing, but then um, from the sea, like from above the sea. So there's also I'm an never played, but there's also a first person mode, as in you can
Mm-hmm.
play one of those people, and you can only play the U-boat in first person mode. So you can only play it like this.
Yeah, but this is what Angus is saying. That actually would appeal to me as well. It would be pretty relaxing, or quote unquote, uh, um, where you just form a crew with your guys and man a boat, and each has their like role to play. Oh, pretty cool.
So no, I really can't. I really can't see any. Can you see? You can't really see
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, yeah. I think no, that's
There's
just
supposed to be a ship
pixels.
somewhere over there. I can't. We're still about a kilometer away from him, so we've been spotted. So they've seen us, which is okay. Sure, I haven't, and I hope I saw it right that they don't have guns. Otherwise, we have a big problem. So you can hear they're like sounding the alarm because, well, I mean,
Well, maybe you can audio locate them and
yeah,
just
but
aim for it. Like,
I could, but I can't use the torpedoes.
oh,
I
you
can
have
see
to
them
have
now.
seen
I
them.
can see.
Oh, there we go. They appeared very briefly.
Ah, there we go. So we finally, finally, after quite some time.
Yeah.
I hope they're inside. I think they're inside my torpedo activation range. Well, might as well try. So from before, we know their course, which was 77.
Yeah.
So 077. We can. Well, we first need to determine what kind of ship it is, because that's kind
Yeah.
of important. Because if we calculate all the other stuff, we need to know the size of the ships.
Okay.
So I think this looks like. Can't really see it, but I think it's this one. The Empire
Possible.
Tower. Yeah, it's the Empire Tower. So they had these books with all the kind of ships the enemy had. So the
Okay.
Empire Tower in this game is an example of a freighter was built using individual, not standardized design. So
Yeah.
this is a problem, kinda, because we don't really know how big the ship actually is. So with all these ships, you know exactly, okay, this mast is 10 meters high, so you can calculate with that.
Yeah.
Because if you look, for example, the chronometer tools, the way you measure how fast ship's going, which is I think about 5 knots.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know how long the ship is, so you know what distance it traveled in what time. If you don't know what distance it traveled in what time, you don't really have
Yeah, because
anything to go by.
you have to lead your shot. I'm
Yeah, but
assuming.
so this is something which is not in the game, but there's mods for that. The Germans would have a calculator, so they have a small computer kind of thing where they could input data. So they could input
Mm-hmm.
the distance, the length, the speed of the ship, the angle of the ship, the angle of anything. They could input that
Yeah.
into the computer, and then they could have the calculations which they could put into the not only the torpedo, so when the torpedo needs to activate, but also when they need to fire, uh, what direction they need to face to fire. So this
Yeah.
is kind of simplified because in real life it took way more calculations. So they're going really slow. I think I already put in a course, but it's gone again, which is 077. We also want to know their distance, um, which is kind of hard to see. But I
Yeah.
think it's really close, so it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just make this 300 meters just to be safe. Oh, well, then we So the torpedoes are also preheated. I haven't really found out why they did that, but there's probably a reason for that.
Tire blankets.
Yeah,
Why though? I don't know. That's interesting.
I
Why?
think it.
Why?
Yeah, so in the
Why
game
do
they
they
say
heat
it's
torpedoes?
to prevent a dud torpedo. So I think if the torpedo is hotter or warmed up, it's the firing mechanisms probably work better. So we've now fired our torpedo,
Okay.
and I hope it's not too close. No, it's fine.
Okay, so apparently it's because heat is what drives gas into the engine.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And so basically, you pass air through the engine. Like it's
Oh, we've hit it. We've hit it. We've hit him.
nice, nice. Sorry, I was still reading the
Successful attack. Yes.
nice.
So
Okay.
let's hope it was the one torpedo was enough to sink it, but it probably wasn't. It's getting away. It's getting away. No, you're not. No, you're not, Sunshine. It is actually. It's actually not sinking. But I think we can
Well
just.
then,
Well, there's
again.
two things we can do, or we can just do this. We're gonna send our good old Tobias Funke to. I said you're going to the deck gun. Oh no! What are you doing? What are you? Why is this game? Sometimes it's kind of eh. This game.
Yeah. Okay.
Something happened and. uh, the game's bugged. This shouldn't happen.
Oh God. No.
I shouldn't have this view. Why? Oh, Alt. UI tab management screen. You're just gonna go rest. Leave position. Why do I have this constant? I don't want this constant. Maybe if I switch to another.
Kapitän,
Oh no, I've got this constant. Hmm. 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 Well, this is F, I guess. Maybe if we
Why is
go
that?
back to the.
You can't fire. You can't go back to the
No,
torpedo
it's
firing
stuck
mode.
in this
I
damn
see.
view.
And you can't select someone else.
Nope. Aw, this game.
Did you have this before?
Nope.
Oh God, early access. Am I right?
Ah, I think I fixed it.
Okay.
I didn't. Why is this?
No,
Ah,
it's worse. It is worse now.
yeah. There's more stuff.
Well, at least we've recorded a bug for them. um, damn.
Yeah,
That
kinda,
sucks.
kinda damn.
That is I guess that's an F. Yeah.
Maybe if I like, nope, that doesn't work. Maybe if I like,
Can you save? Save.
that might indeed work.
Huh? Save.
Yeah, and then load.
And load.
We're just about to sink a ship, and the game's like, oh no 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 no.
Oh no no. This will work because this is reloading your assets, so that should work.
Let's hope so.
It's the fix all of World of Warcraft / reload.
So I think it worked. So they're like trying
Yeah.
to avoid us, of course.
Yeah, that one's on fire.
It's pretty, and this one is also. This is the. Oh, so if I had collisions on, we would have collided with this one. So this is the
I'd say so, yeah.
Norwegian one. You really want to switch on and off a submarine? No, not really.
Mm-hmm.
But U-boats using their deck gun is something which would happen quite often in the beginning of the war, especially because torpedoes are kind of expensive and they're also kind of ineffective. So what would often happen is they shoot a ship and the one torpedo wouldn't sink it.
So then you finish it off with.
Yeah, with another one, with some rounds. So
Oh, there's some actual running about and stuff as well.
which ship?
Awesome.
Oh,
It's
so-
that one, yeah.
No, it's
Is it? No. You're. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. It should be there somewhere,
That
but it's
one?
not.
It's not that one, right? That's Norwegian flags, right?
Yeah. From what I can tell, yes. I don't know where you're looking, but from what I can tell, yes. So I guess he's just out of sight with the fog and everything.
Yeah, but this we want to sing this one as well. So I mean, anyway, I started blasting. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely that one. You probably
Okay.
want to pump in some HE shells.
You can up your diesel speed a bit because you're not submerged, and then you can hunt him down. Push. Hey.
Mode push now.
There we go. There we go.
So this is time for some AP action.
Nice. What are you gonna shoot at? Hull? Yeah, exactly.
Want to make holes in the ship because that's what makes ships
Yes,
sink.
exactly.
So Angus says Sidmar. He remembers Sidmar putting in deck guns because that's what people like, shooting stuff. But that's what U-boats really had. They really had,
Really?
yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's
Come on, sink you. Go down, please. Now. Yeah, there we go.
one for good measure. One because it's
Yeah,
fun. There we go.
there we go. Now it's going down.
Okay.
But we still have another ship to sink, so...
Mm-hmm.
See, so you can see here, we've seen them, they've alerted, they're on fire, and also the crew has abandoned ship.
So
Now,
like kill count wise, if we compare that to the Call of Duty stream, we're at a pretty big difference so far.
well, depends how many. Well, hold on. Depends how many people are on the ship.
Let's still. I mean, let's say 50. Let's be ambitious, 100.
And probably they didn't die, so yeah.
No, exactly. They probably we warned them, right? Ed, that was the premise that we warned them.
We didn't. I'm not really sure if that happened at this stage of the war. We definitely did not warn them.
Okay.
So now our dude is losing his cap.
Not rendering.
Yeah. No, just it's early access. Remember, it's kind of buggy
Wow.
sometimes.
Yeah, okay, but still.
So I think what was his? So he's kind of over there. Yeah, there we go. So we don't really know
Okay.
his course, but we can like quickly
Campbell.
plot it, and so we don't really need the course now just yet. We first want to
Mm-hmm.
determine what kind of ship it is. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. But the distance is probably something more like 500 meters.
Yeah.
So this is also mathematics. So what you do is you line up um, the highest mast of the ship to the sea level. It's basically Pythagoras.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
literally just Pythagoras because you know the angle of
Because you
attack.
know the height
You
of
know
the
the
mast.
height. You know the height of the mast. You know the angle.
Yeah.
So you know the distance. It's basically how it works. It's like when I found it out, I was like, oh wow, that's how it works.
That is so elegantly simple.
So I
Or
think we're
simply elegant.
too close to like really realistically fire at these dudes. Um,
Oh yeah, Angus, it's going well in the UK, isn't it, mate? Damn. I got my whole Call of Duty server is from the UK, so obviously I've got good intel from how it's going there. It's it's hallucinating the amount of contaminations there. That number was staggering. Anyway, so now we're measuring the ship with this chronometer.
yeah, which is the speed of the ship. So I want to know how fast it's going. So
Yeah.
because it's probably seen us. It knows there's a submarine somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, yeah, let's get out of here. But they won't escape. They won't escape Captain Oomzer and First Mate. What you call it? First Watch Officer.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing this really quickly because it's. I'm probably gonna miss this shot because they're too close, but still. Come on, zoom in, you. So that's 70. Yeah, so you see what they're doing? They're zigzagging. So they're
Oh,
zigzagging.
to
So
serpentine, serpentine.
so they're now probably something like 85-ish. Full speed, 44 knots for this torpedo. It's probably gonna miss.
You think?
Yeah,
Because you like eyeballed it a bit?
yeah.
No.
And also I think it's too close.
But at least it's visible now. There's no fog. We get to see
Oh no,
something.
I lied. So we're gonna fire again. I don't want to chase the ship again. So
No, 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 exactly. Oh, you hit him at the front even, not at the back. Because you thought it was going to miss in front or in the back.
just in total, just because it's like zigzagging, but we're so close,
Okay.
it can't really.
Yeah, exactly. What's the speed of a torpedo, actually?
So these torpedoes go 44 knots.
44, okay.
Yeah, so it's completely broken.
Ah,
It
okay.
like broke in two.
Almost stuck.
Exactly.
It's in half even.
Yeah.
Full on Titanic mode. Nice.
So we finally
Okay.
have 2 kills.
It has some physics to it as well. That's
Yeah,
interesting
yeah,
to
yeah,
see.
yeah. The ship is going down pretty
Obviously,
quickly.
it's the
Yeah,
same. Yes, I know, but they could obviously not make that effort.
they could, but they did.
Yeah. So, are we going to patrol for more and take a bit of a risk? Because wow, are we? How far out are we now? Oh, we're
Okay,
pretty
close to
close.
Ireland, so we can like go in here a bit. So this is our home port. We've completed our patrol, so we've sunk more than what was it, 4,000 tonnage easily, or 7,000 tonnage easily.
Yeah, yeah, because we
Like
sank two of them, huh?
easily, we sunk 2 ships, which is more than enough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think we still have some. Um, let me check. Let me check our supplies. We have plenty of food left, which I didn't really keep track of, so the people have been eating fish and potatoes all the time. Let's give them some bacon, because we sunk 2 ships. We probably still have some torpedoes left, so we could easily sink some more. Yeah, we have 7 torpedoes left. 6 torpedoes left,
Nice.
which should be more than enough. So you also have, in this game you also have missions to like espionage on these kind of bases. So they ask you to infiltrate one of these naval bases and sink ships in the bases, or
Oh
um,
wow.
just spy out their defenses, which is kind of cool, but also kind of stressing because like if a submarine is caught here, it's done because it can't dive. You see, it's like the depth of the water. You can see it in the top right. It's like 20 meters at most.
Oh
So
yeah,
you
I
can't really
see.
like when you're in open sea, you can just dive and go away. You dive, and
Yeah,
you dive to 200 meters, and you're like safe ish,
yeah,
I guess. But here, it's like if you're caught, you're done.
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
But we'll see. Maybe we can like we can sail up the Thames, pop up in the middle of London, like hi, it's us. We're also kind of running lowish on fuel. Should be fine. So this is the boring part again. So now we're just like,
But you sped up time, right?
yeah, but we're not in travel mode yet because
We're not subbed. We're not.
no, we just didn't enter yet.
Yeah.
Now we're in travel mode.
Ah, yes. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And then once you get back closer, then it'll go slower again because of land
yeah. Or if I spot a
approaching.
ship, so either one
Yeah.
of those. So let's just maybe just go down. Maybe have a little listen, just a little, just a tiny.
Hmm.
You can also change the lighting in this game, as in you can change the lights in your subs. So what it often do when it's night, you'd have on the red light when you have like action. You then
Mm-hmm.
have on the red light. That's to let the people know inside the sub, oh, we're now fighting, we're in an alarm situation. You also have the blue
Yeah.
lighting, which would mean silence.
Mm-hmm.
Silent running, which would mean the
Yeah.
crew would be silent. They wouldn't talk because sound travels further underwater than it does on in air.
Yeah.
So like I explained how you could listen for boats. That's how they would also find subs. They would literally listen and they could hear the people in the sub. And the closer the sub was, they could often even hear the people singing if they were singing. That's also I think
Oh,
it's seen in Red October as well, where they sing the Russian anthem and they could hear literally hear the singing.
yeah.
So that's what would happen. So that's why, especially when you know there's some ships about, so often the submarine would pick up the enemy ships before um, the Allied destroyers would, because the destroyer is just way more noisy.
Yeah. 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 For
So we
sure.
found another
Ah,
convoy, which is
another group.
yeah, and this is
Is this a send group?
I
Oh
think it's
yeah,
the
it
same
is.
group as before. Yeah,
Oh,
it
we
must
had
be,
unfinished business, mate. So
but
do it.
I'm not really sure if we can catch them before we they are like in such range of their own bases that we can never get them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So
are we
this is a
going
U-boat.
full steam?
I hope it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is.
Must must be. Otherwise, it'd be dead by now.
Yeah, because we're not submerged.
Yeah. So they're behind
Oh,
us.
you could meet ally.
Yeah. So you could
Oh,
even form wolf packs in this game.
oh, you can actually do that as
Yeah,
well.
I've never really done
So
it because it's kind of iffy as well. But you can like form a wolf pack and then decide where your enemies go, and also say to them, well, now we attack or now we whatchamacallit, now we retreat and just dive and just hide and go away quickly.
yeah.
But I don't think we'll catch this.
Oh.
Also, this airbase is kind of. Don't really want to get too close to airplanes.
Yeah. I really need a bio break. Apologies.
Just take off your headphones.
Of course, mate.
I mean, I've
They're
seen people done it
wireless.
before.
I'm not an idiot. God. I'll be back.
No, we'll never find. Oh, we found them again. I mean, we could. Can you imagine the first watch after taking a bio break when hunting for ships? No, it probably wouldn't happen. You never know. I mean, people need bio breaks, so yeah. I just hope we'll catch them. But where are they? No, they're not over there. Oh, that's another one. Nah, we'll never catch them. Damn, shame. They're just too fast. They're probably traveling like 8 knots or something. We could never catch them. Yeah, so you could hear the convoy, but you can't catch it. That's the problem. Or did you mean something else, Aris, when you said, "Can you hear it?" Because I mean,
I completely shamelessly brought a piece of my cake because I can. It's still my birthday week.
so
You guys do birthday weeks, right?
yeah, of course. Angus just
Not
said,
as
"Can you
strict.
imagine the first watch of her taking a bio break when hunting for ships?" I mean, can you?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
we're kind of in the
I think
middle of
adrenaline
something,
takes over
Hans.
at that point. And what?
We're kind of in the middle of something, Hans. But
Oh God, there's a Flemish remark that would be so appropriate here, but nobody will get it. So I'm going to refrain. Plus, it's not very polite. It is though still.
those damn Flemish.
Yeah, and it was, of course, in a bicycle racing movie, and of course, there is such a thing as
A bicycle racing movie.
a movie about bicycle racing. Multiple, of course, but that was the one of the most famous ones.
Which one?
Huh, man, is the Vlaamse Race it was called? I don't remember. Mm, de Ronde.
I've never seen a Flemish bicycle movie. Yeah, I've seen the Helaas uit
Um,
Dinging, which is kind of about bicycling, but not really.
yeah, it's not also the most like
Well, mate.
I'm a pretty bad Belgian when it comes to sports.
The only
Like the typical Belgian sports like football, bicycle racing. I'm like,
that's
football
I
is fun
think
to play, but to watch, it really depends. It's a bit like hunting for boats. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
I mean, you agreed to join. You agreed to join. It's all on
No,
you.
it's been very enjoyable, mate. I'm happy to be here. I truly am. It's nice to be part of all this again a little bit in this way.
I have found another group of ships. We're gonna sink them before the stream runs out. Trust me. Oh,
Oh, no, it's not funky. It's um. Oh man, I have to post the video.
Funka.
Like Tobias Tobias Funke. Man. Oh, it was written with a U. Well, obviously umlaut, but
But you can't do that because it's a game.
oh man, he was a character. That actor played him so well. It's an amazing series. Also, Arrested Development. It's just a page from the wiki. I didn't do a video, but he joins like the blue what is it? The Blue Man Group and stuff.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and he showers in jeans hot pants because that's a thing.
Okay, sure.
It's
Weird,
honestly the
weird.
whole like a whole like
Why
psychological
are they so quick?
disease devoted to yeah or
I
disorder.
don't get why all these ships are so damn fast.
Maybe you took a slow boat.
No, I didn't. I
It's
definitely didn't.
especially the fact that well, I'm assuming that those U-boats were able to get to higher speeds because they weren't
Uh,
that big
I can go to about 20
and they're
knots.
submerged, so you don't have any rocky waves or whatever. I would think they would go faster than most ships.
They could go about 20 knots ish.
Wow. Okay.
It's also,
That is fast.
I need to turn on the diesel engines.
Yeah.
Kind of helps. Why am I submerged? I am. Come on. Oh, I've run out of compressed air. I might have made an error here.
I thought you were gonna say fuel. No, alas. That wouldn't have be the first time that you said that to me.
Shh.
It's happened to me to be and you both, man. It's
Oh, finally, luckily. Whew, that was close. I almost messed up.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Because of course electric engines were way less efficient than they would be today.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so when you eventually have the snorkel, you could run the diesel engines underwater,
Uh huh.
which is kind of what you want because you could run at diesel engine speed underwater, which is better, of course. I think
Yeah.
we've lost the ship I was hunting. Damn.
Mate, Angus, did you buy the Nissan Leaf? That's one of the few electrical cars that I would consider. That one and the Opel Ampere within like somewhat of a reasonable reach. Mate, awesome. Congrats. That's cool.
What? Come
I
on.
like electrical cars. I really do. If I had a daily and a budget for it, then I would go that way as well. Like, yeah, good choice. Do you still have the Volvo then? Sorry to go completely off topic. Maybe I should do that in
I
chat.
mean cars. I mean cars. Yeah.
While we're waiting also to
While we're waiting to find the ship, which we're never gonna catch,
find the
so
ship.
they're gone again. I will never find
Oh
them.
no! What happened to it, mate? That must have been bad then. If it actually died. Yes, I. Man, I don't want to be that guy, but I told you so. Yeah, it's a generation of Volvos that they put Ford engines in. It's um, it's why the one that we bought back in the day, that's a pure, but like still Volvo 5-cylinder diesel. So I had confidence in that. But yeah. Well, I mean, it's for the better now. Have a pretty sweet ride now. That's also good. Yeah.
One last try.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, but now you're talking about it like it's probably even cooler still than a Volvo Amazon. Like the boxier the better for a Volvo, honestly. So we're going back to our base now
Yeah,
and then seeing if we run into stuff.
yeah, just here along the way. So you might find something here, but it's kind of close to France. So this is the area which also the Luftwaffe would cover with planes. So you don't
Okay.
really want to sail ships into that, especially because we're like in the middle of just after the Blitz, of course, but still.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which way are you
Oh.
going? Are you coming towards me? Yeah, you are. Ah, you're mine.
Nice. That's good. It's nice to still have some
Please let us sink some more ships.
uh
I don't know what happened this stream, but most often you'd have more ships to sink than these.
Well, I mean, after a while, I would imagine it would become repetitive as well, unless you go into like combat ship attacking, and that I'm assuming is a fair
You
bit more
can,
intense.
but it's quite more intense.
But it's also not what the stream is about. Obviously, it's more about like I guess this is one of those authenticity streams. Um,
I mean,
I
there
have to
is,
say
yeah,
they nailed it on that. I have to say with regards to how it looks on the inside and stuff. Obviously, I have
yeah, it's
not
amazing.
any knowledge on what it actually was like, but it at least seems very very well thought out and meticulously detailed, uh, which is very nice to
Oh,
see. And also just graphically, it looks pretty okay for this style of game.
yeah. So it's now kind of down on graphics because I just wanted to preserve the game like running smoothly and not have it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we often focus on on the authenticity, of course. I guess that's always an underlying theme. Um, but I guess this one.
But then have it there all the time. It's just there all the
Yes.
time.
No, obviously, I think we've had a lot of streams that are also revolving around storytelling and agency. I think that's another really hard focus for us usually.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember a couple of very good streams on that. like front.
Indeed, we should ask Twitch if they can make a tag for that. It's basically about aesthetic. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Come on, please don't be gone again. Ah, there we go. Come
Okay.
on, zoom out, zoom. Yeah, my scroll wheel is kind of.
Do you have a Logitech mouse?
Yeah, I do.
It's funny that I know that, huh? Does it happen to be a G403
Maybe.
with cable,
Yeah, maybe.
RGB,
Yeah.
and fairly simple, about 50, 60 euros, but a really solid mouse, very light.
Yeah, I can see the G403 like below. It's below there, so I can see it.
Yeah,
That one.
yeah. See, guess what broke on my G403? In the same way. When
Maybe
you
the
scroll
scroll
down,
wheel.
it
Yeah.
scrolls up, and it's annoying. Yeah, yeah. That's apparently a point of failure. Oh man.
I really like this mouse. It's a great mouse, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so
yeah,
annoying that
absolutely.
this stuff
That's why I
breaks.
went for the G Pro wireless, because it's effectively an upgraded version of the G403, but then obviously wireless. And I have to say, like, that mouse is like, it lasts about 10 days with work and gaming combined. It's pretty insane.
Yeah. So what I always have with those like battery mouse mice that I always forget them. As in, I always forget to like.
Oh, to charge.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if now they're at a point where they last so long. Look, if I get the warning like, hey, your battery's low, it's at 15%. And with that 15%, I can still game an evening, work an entire day, and at the end of the day, they'll say like, dude, come on, it's 5%, please.
But we're catching them.
uh,
We've
it's
caught them.
batteries have become a thing of the past, of an issue for wireless
We don't
peripherals.
need batteries where
Luckily,
we are going.
no, absolutely, yeah.
You might.
Chimney smoke,
Yeah.
even.
So we've seen them. So that means it's probably a more accurate thing than with the hydrophone.
Yeah.
So that's a freighter, an enemy freighter, which is good.
Okay.
Which is good
Combat.
news because shooting.
Yes.
And the side range is good, so now we can actually do the real torpedo stuff.
Yeah.
So we just want to rest our skipper for a little bit. You need to manage our diesel engine so we can speed up a little bit. So I clicked the wrong button again. Like come on. I just clicked next to the screen where I needed to click, and now it's like it went out of there. So I still want
All right. So there's two of them.
two of them. I think might be three. So this is really annoying. When you like have a marker out and you hover over a ship, the marker disappears, and it's so annoying. Also, this game doesn't have a pause, so when you pause it, it just goes really slow.
Oh.
Like in real life, as in you can't really pause a submarine or submarine warfare.
Okay.
So we have two ships here. They're both unarmed. So it seems this is a NA1, and this is also an unarmed one, which is probably an Empire something-ish. I'm not really sure. We're still kind of behind them, which is not ideal because you can't really fight them. But they've spotted us as well, so we're still gonna submerge. You're gonna go on the attack periscope. So I kind of messed up because they spotted me, which is not the best thing to have because now they're probably zigzag
Well,
and
they're gonna probably run away. But on the other hand,
we have torpedoes. They don't.
exactly. If it was a combat ship, you'd be in trouble. Marines.
I'd be in trouble, but I know they're not combat ships, so their course is a hold on. Let me just pause the game. I just want this to be a little bit more straight. Like that. So what's 360 minus 1? That's 220. So now we're gonna do the cool periscope stuff again.
Yeah.
So front of the ship, we wanna raise the periscope just a little bit. And we know they're at our right somewhere. So there they are.
There we are.
So there's two
Oh,
ships.
that's cool. This is cooler than the last one because
But we can
obviously
see
the fog was a
they're
bit of
turning
a...
away from us, so they spotted us. But we have
Mhm.
now gone unnoticed, so they don't know where we are. We
Mhm.
can probably use that to our advantage as well. But as seen as though as we're traveling as well, it's kind of hard to get their speed as well as their distance because we're traveling at the same time. But what we can do is like determine what kind of ship they are. So I know this one for sure is a
An A1, whatever you said.
NA1, yeah.
Mhm.
This one.
Okay, yeah, so you can measure that with the chrono stuff,
Yeah.
and then the
And
chronometer.
this one is probably an Empire or something ish.
Yeah.
I think this
Yeah, yeah.
one.
Looks
Yeah,
like
it's this
it.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good enough.
It's lying the other. It's lying the other way around. That's probably why.
Ah! Oh wow! So it's I think about 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers out. 5 kilometers. That can't be right. It's not 5. Okay, it might be 5 ish.
mm,
No, it's more like 3.
it's 3. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah. So this is what often happens, especially with these kind of ships, the bells. Like I told before, we don't really. They can differ in size.
So, what are you adjusting for now? Because you're adjusting vertically now, but the torpedo goes like in a straight. There isn't like there isn't any bullet drop right underwater.
No, but this is like measuring the distance.
Ah, okay, yeah,
Like
okay, fair.
with the degrees, so we know this
With
the
the
degree.
masts.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
but like the
Oh, so that's what they do. They do like
yeah,
some overlay. Oh, wow.
but these are really
That
annoying
is,
because you can't really see. So the point is, you line up the highest mast to the place where the ship hits the water,
yeah.
but the place where the ship hits the water is kind of hard to see. So this is
Mm-hmm.
probably a more accurate 4 kilometers because the game rounds off. So it can be
Yeah.
3,500 meters. That's probably more accurate. So what did they
Mm-hmm.
say? What is the course was 220? Come on. Then the distance is probably
Yeah, this is about it.
yeah, that one's closer. So that's the lead ship. I also want to slow down. So I think they've no longer they're still alarmed, but I think they've kind of slowed down a bit again.
Yeah, exactly.
The good part is that's often the case with convoys and stuff. We only need one of those speeds because they often travel the same speed.
And they're about the same size, obviously.
No, but
Sometimes as well.
if we know
Like,
the speed of one
like,
ship, this other ship's probably sailing the same speed because there's no way two ships sailing together. One
and
would
then the size doesn't really matter anymore.
no, because one
It's just
ship would
about the
probably
speed.
if one ship would sail 5 knots, the other ship wouldn't be sailing 7 knots because they just
It would
lose
be a
each other.
shitty convoy.
Yeah.
It would be like the typical NPC companion mission or quest, though.
So I think these torpedoes are gonna miss probably. Like
What's that?
we're kind of far out. They know we're here.
You don't see it fly out. That's
Nope.
sneaky.
But you can see it on the surface. You can't see these on the surface. So there's also different kinds of torpedoes. What was it again?
Mm-hmm.
6 knots. So now these torpedoes we have, these are GT2s. These are steam powered, I think.
Okay.
So they leave a trail. So you can
Ah,
see them
yes.
coming. I think, or it's the other way around. So we have the T1s and the T2s. They're different kind of torpedoes. So some you see, some you
Mm-hmm.
don't.
So what happened to the first one?
That's this one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we
Oh,
do need
they're
to.
still traveling.
Yeah, but the problem is
Oh.
they're zigging and they're zagging, so they're probably gonna miss both.
Um, I don't know, mate. It looks pretty
No,
good. It's pretty good shot though. Still,
we can try again.
yeah,
And the point is they're zigging and they're zagging. That's like, and I think they both went in front of the ship, which means the speed was too great. So I estimated their speed to 6 knots, probably doing more like 5.
yeah.
Oh, hold on, I didn't mean to click that button. So this is the first person view, which you also have, which is kind of weird because you can like hi,
See, look at yourself as well.
hi.
That's a second person view.
So we're gonna do this all over again. So
It's
yeah,
close though.
yeah, we're
So you have to
way
do the
closer.
calculations again
I have
now.
to do all the calculations again. Um, but I know the ship is still good, so
Yeah.
that changes things. That's kind of easy. I think this is also kind of it's just somewhere in between. It's not 4 kilometers, never. It's like 1,000 meters ish, a little bit more, but okay, sure. Yeah, the point is I kind of effed up by alerting them to my presence.
Yeah, because then it would be easier to plot their course because they're not zigging and zagging.
Yeah, and they're like doing the same speed and that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But if we don't hit these two torpedoes, I'm just gonna deck gun them again, or just point blank range, just go like, haha, dodge this, man.
Here, just like fucking board them and everything.
Nowhere he's doing 7 knots. Oh, he might be actually. Yeah, he's still zigging and
Ah,
is there.
because you were doing 6 knots before. He was doing 6 knots, and
Yeah, the point is they're zigging and they're zagging and they're zogging.
also that prolongs their course, so they could be doing 7 knots in a
Yeah, because
zigzag.
like if they, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they of
yeah.
course turn away from me, yeah, the ship takes longer to travel.
Yeah, yeah, but then that's the thing, I'm assuming, yeah, you see them doing
You
that.
see them zigging and you see them zagging, especially this
If
one.
you,
He
if
really
you,
sped up, by the way.
yeah, 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 wow. Are we gonna keep up with them?
Yeah, easily.
The thing is,
Oh, hold on.
I think you should go like for
They have stopped the alarm, which means they they think I'm not there
stop
anymore.
zigging and zagging.
They properly stopped zigging and then stopped the zagging because the alarm thing is gone. So that's something you could hear as well,
Yeah.
which means I can now just go about this easily again. Let me just quickly plop down one so I know. Also, not of an ideal angle, so they often wouldn't fire torpedoes from behind the ship
Yeah. That makes sense.
because it's kind of, yeah, messes everything up. There he's probably doing. Oh, hold on, I need to do it again. Probably doing 5-ish knots.
Yeah. But I was about to say, if they're zigging and zagging at 7 knots, you could probably hit them with a 5 knot shot. Because they would be doing the
Yeah,
same
but
distance with
I
7 miles or 7 knots. But because they're zigging and zagging, they're covering the distance of a ship
yeah.
that's going straight with 5 knots.
So what the Germans would
Maybe
have
something like that.
later in the game is they would have, for example, they would have torpedoes, which after
That zig
their
and zag.
yeah. So what after they would have hit their target and they didn't, they would have a search pattern. So they would like make like a little, yeah, I don't know what to call
Oh,
it,
they
but
actually would zig and zag, bro.
yeah. And later in the war, they would also really have wake homing torpedoes, so acoustic torpedoes, which would like home in on a certain sound.
Oh, sick. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Which of course also brings the trouble of torpedoes doubling back on you, which you don't want because, as I explained, submarines are kind of
It's so
explosive.
dumb. Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, ugh. Sometimes you do stuff the wrong way around. And it's so annoying. Come on, zoom in, stupid mouse. So this angle is 42. So that's 222. Oh, that's so they were doing 220. So this one's doing
221.
the course they were saying.
Oh, yeah. That's what we guessed as well, eh? Well, 219, I think. Because it was 360 minus 141.
Yeah, now it's a little bit more. So I still don't think he's doing 6 knots. I still think he's doing 5. So distance to this target is no way. That's 3 kilometers. Never. Just gonna. Why do? Hit the wrong button again. I just never mind. Just gonna shoot.
Yeah, you got 1 minute.
Yeah.
So let's do it. Send it. Pretty close now. I would. So your scope is now adjusted also for the lead.
Yeah. So what the scope would do is they could like fix it on a certain point, so it would just track. I think this is the game doing it for me, because probably the captain would need to do it himself.
Cheers, Angus.
Cheers, Angus and
Have a good night,
Pascal.
mate.
Yeah, I'm just gonna surface and shoot them if we don't hit those torpedoes, because I do want to sink
exactly.
them.
Exactly.
But I think this one's gonna miss.
Pascal's out as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Catch you guys later. Thanks for joining. It was a cozy.
At least, yeah, one. Yeah, we hit one.
We're gonna hit. Yep.
We hit one. We missed the first one.
We did.
So he was actually doing 6 knots. So I was wrong. But this
that
one
second one's gonna hit as well, eh? I think. Yeah, mate, that's a kill. On the icon, it will hit, but maybe not on the ship. Oh man, it's gonna be so close.
Yeah, it's so
in,
tense.
Zoom in. How much? Oh, the icons disappeared now. Oh, it hit!
It hit.
We actually saw the explosion. That's awesome. That is very cool. Very, very cool.
So
That's
I think
a cool way
this
to end
this
the
is just
stream.
a bigger ship. So this
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
I just want that. I just want to sink it.
Oh yeah.
Come here, you little bugger. You go over to the deck gun.
Yes. Have a good one, Angus. Night, mate. He's gonna jump off. It's just like
I'm done with your bad aiming. Bye.
have a beautiful bye. The dead gun. It's like whipping out your shotgun if you can't make it with regular guns. It's like, all right, I'm done with this.
Can't. I really can't.
That would be an impressive shot. That hit.
I mean, you never know.
How much bullet drop is there?
Plenty. Why isn't it?
Is it tracer rounds?
No, but I think I hit that one.
Yeah, getting pretty close as well. So it does seem to be catching the fire.
Come here, you.
Speed up. Man.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
That was definitely a hit. Slow
So
down.
are you gonna do something with this campaign afterwards?
Might be, but I already have some other campaigns running, so probably not.
Because
Yeah, so that was.
I want to see what happens if you shoot the deck gun at the deck.
You can't.
Oh, I mean, It was a logical request, right?
Yeah, but I think they designed it in such a way that you couldn't. You actually couldn't.
Yeah,
We can also
exactly.
get on
I mean,
the flag guns. Let's see what happens if I can shoot.
oh, that's anti-air, right?
Yeah, but I don't
Wow,
think
it
I can.
is. It is rough to look at those 3D animations, mate. But again,
I'm kind of shooting the ship now, but
wow. I think an MP5 makes more noise than that. They need to get their gun sounds a little bit. Oh, the moon!
damn you, Death Star!
That is not a moon.
No, actually, yeah, I'm not gonna crush a ship because I don't think that's the good thing to a good
No,
way
no,
to end the
no,
stream.
no.
But I think that's that will probably
That's a
be
wrap,
all.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, let me just quickly. I think that was everything. I
Yeah.
enjoyed this one. It kind
That
of
was
started off kind of slow.
well, yeah, and obviously it's a slow game to begin with, so
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
you need to adjust your expectations a bit. Um, it's of a whole different caliber than a lot of the Sims that I've experienced in the
yeah.
past. That's for sure.
But I mean, if you eventually get up or like catch a convoy and like with these stories and stuff, it can get pretty tense and hectic.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. No, this was fun for
Yeah,
sure.
I really enjoyed it.
I
Yeah,
had a good time. So
you
yeah,
learned something about subs, about the Enigma machine, about Poland.
yes, yes. So all in all,
Good stream.
a,
Yeah,
a day not learned is a day not lived. Huh?
exactly. Um, we will be back. Well, not me and not you. I think Vincent will be back on Thursday with some live Twine game making. So the doctors of
Ooh,
value, well, not all
ooh,
doctors
ooh.
of value,
Wow.
but Dr. Random and Dr. Aymir will be
Ah,
doing some live game making on stream on Thursday,
nice. Yes,
which will be
indeed.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that was all for tonight. Don't head out immediately because we still have the cool, funky outro video for you. Um,
Oh, is there an after?
yeah, Angus made an outro video, which I'm gonna start,
Ah,
which is awesome. But that was all
yes.
for me. If you have anything, any last words, Vincent?
No, no. This was fun. I don't know what the YouTubers otherwise say, mate.
You
The
say,
streamers
stay happy,
like,
stay
subscribe, blah
healthy.
blah.
Yeah,
Stay
like,
safe.
subscribe, blah. Okay, that was all.
Yes,
Okay,
and yes.
goodbye.
Have a good evening or day.